Alright guys, welcome back to a brand new episode. We are coming close to the end of the season, but I cannot end the season without something great. So I hope today's episode is going to be that, because I have someone who I really look up to, and he is Yusuf Hashim.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, such an honor to have you here, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have so many questions, but I'm going to just start off with, do you remember how we met?
Oh, that was maybe a decade ago.
Okay, maybe not that far out. Maybe 8 years, close to 8 years.
About that, yeah. I think you were the anchor for a Samsung video that I was a judge in.
Photography competition.
Photography competition. Yes, I was a judge, and you were the anchor, and you were doing the video for Samsung that time, I think.
That's right. I was hosting for the brand, and you were one of the judges. And I remember you really left an impression in me as well. Like until today, I still remember some of the things that you told me. And then I realized there was one day, I think I stumbled upon your Facebook. We are friends on Facebook, so I follow your stuff from time to time. And I see how you travel around the world. And, you know, sometimes your post just puts a smile on my face. Like you have always been at the back of my head. And there was one day I was listening to this podcast with Jane Fonda. Do you know Jane Fonda?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And she was on this podcast, and I realized, oh my gosh, I learned so much from that hour just listening to her stories. And she is someone who's living in her third act in life. And I thought, you know what? I want to do that for my podcast too. Like I want to talk to someone who has truly lived life. And you came to mind. So then I dropped you a message on Facebook.
And I said yes.
Yes, thank you for saying yes, because I wasn't sure if you're going to say yes. I would have been okay even if you said no, I understand. But yeah, thank you for saying yes, for being here today with us. Yeah, okay. That's how we met, okay? So Yusuf, could you tell us about your childhood? This is something that I ask all my guests, but I feel like for you, you have to go way back in time. So
that was a long time ago. I'm 78, and I'm not ashamed to say that. In fact, I'm proud to say that.
Love it.
15 grandkids, so childhood seems so far away.
Yeah.
But I was born in Taiping and grew up in Kuala Kangsar, went to school in Kuala Kangsar till Form 3. And in Form 3, there was a recruitment team from the Royal Military College. They came to find people who'd like to join the military college.
Right.
So they had a assessment. I think 150 of my form mates went for the interview, and thank God I was the only one that was selected.
Oh, you have to be interviewed to enter a military college.
That was the first level. The recruiters come to all the schools in Malaysia, and they choose 2 or 3 or 1 from each school. And then after that, they take you to the camp in Sungai Bizi. And there you are interviewed together with all the representatives from the schools throughout Malaysia, maybe about 1,500, and they take about 26. So thank God I was one of the 26.
What was life like in the military college?
I think we lived by the bell. Everything was done by the bell. We wake up on the bell. We go for breakfast on the bell. And then we go for lunch on the bell. At 2 p.m., there was a bell to compel us to go to bed as a rest period.
2 p.m.?
2 p.m. And then at 3 p.m., there was another bell that woke us up to go and run down to the field for our, sporting activities, hockey, athletics, whatever, you like to do. And sometimes there were appeals for blood. And on the way down to play your football or hockey or whatever, we stopped by the clinic, gave our blood 1 pint, and then after that go on to play basketball or volleyball or whatever it is.
And you don't get to say no or yes. You just follow.
No, I think it was actually, in my mind, an honor to be able to contribute something from yourself to help save another person's life.
Yeah.
So I'm proud to say that up to now, I've given 32 times blood. So I'm none the worse for it.
Wow, love that. And at what point, now I know you were also the CEO of Shell, is that correct? And how long were you in Shell?
Well, immediately after military college,
Yeah.
you had a choice. You can either go into military service,
Right.
or you can go into university. I got a scholarship. Actually, I applied to join MSA that time. I don't think you remember. MSA was the precursor to MAS and SIA. So it was Malaysia, Singapore Airlines. So I got accepted to be trained as a pilot.
Wow.
And then on the verge of going to Perth in Scotland for training, I also got a scholarship to join university. And my mother, bless her soul, said to me, why do you want to become a pilot? Do you not know that a pilot is nothing more than a bus driver in the air? That's what my mother told me. So being the filial son, I said, okay, I will, follow your wishes, wanting me to go to university. And she says, you can fly after you've got a degree. Okay. So I went to university, to MU, and I graduated with an economics degree. And I joined Shell. And when I was posted to Kuantan as the area manager, I started the Kuantan Flying Club.
Wow.
We got the Air Force pilots to teach us, and I was the first student that got my pilot's wings from my club that I started.
You got to do it anyway at the end of the day.
Yeah, so I became a pilot. I'm still a pilot, private pilot, and I fly for fun occasionally.
You still do today?
Yes, I do, but not as much. These days it's more parasailing, paramotoring, that's a bit better than, or a bit more exciting than just flying a plane.
Well, I didn't know you were a pilot as well, Yusuf.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, okay. So tell us about your life after university. I know you're such an advocate for early retirement, right? So how does one prepare for that? Because you retired at the age of 53, and
Correct.
That was 1999. Did I get it correct?
23 years ago.
Oh,
and
wow.
the last 23 years have been the best years of my life.
So after retirement was the best
That's
years of
right.
your life.
So I didn't retire, actually. I worked in Shell for 30 years. I quit in 1999 at age 53, at the peak of my career. I was managing director of Shell Chemicals, and I was retail market director for Shell Oil. Downstream, I was also retail market entry director for Shell Indonesia. And before that, I was working in London and Rotterdam for Shell Chemicals. So I decided to quit in 1999 because of several reasons. And I think this is something I would like to share with all our listeners out there, that, you ought to make the work stage of your life to be as short as possible. There are three phases in life. There is the education phase, which takes about 23 years before you can get a degree, and then you have the work phase of life. If you retire as normal at age 65, because the average lifespan of a Malaysian is 76, that leaves you with 11 years of retirement. So at 65, your body starts to shut down. Your knees are gone, and you've got aches here and there, and you might have, in fact, many of my friends have passed on before the age of 65. So I figured that if I retired at 65, then the 11 years, because 65 plus 11 is 76, that you have left, it's not retirement, it's actually a waiting to die period. Seriously, because your body is gone, you can't climb mountains. And I stopped working. I chose to stop working at 53 because I had things I wanted to do. I had places I wanted to visit. I had a bucket list I wanted to tick. So if I waited at 65, I wouldn't have been able to do all that. But in order to be able to stop working at 53, you have to prepare for it. So what you need to do during the work phase of your life is basically, apart from earning a salary and all that, you need to create a retirement investment portfolio that will generate a passive income flow of at least 75% of your salary.
Current salary.
Of your last drawn salary, or the salary at the time that you decide to retire. Okay. So once you have that, you should stop working, because at when you stop working, you ought to have finished all your debts. You shouldn't have any debts, so you don't need 100%. The salary that you have, you don't need that kind of income every month. So if you have 75 and your kids are all grown and gone, then you can quite safely retire. So I retired when I was 53, because the year before that, my last daughter graduated. So I had no debts. All the mortgage for the house and all that were already settled. And I had a passive income flow that was more than 80% of my salary. So you need to, during the work phase of your life, you need to postpone consumption. You need to save, to accumulate capital, so that with capital you can then invest, and investment can then yield a certain flow of income. So try to make your objective to create a passive flow of income that is equivalent to at least about 75% of your salary. Then you can stop working. The other thing is, for you young people out there,
yes, us,
because it takes 23 years to put a child through university before you graduate. So imagine if you have a child at the age of 40. Yeah, if you marry a man that is age 40, and you have your first child when he's 40, so at 23, it'll be 63.
Oh my gosh!
So supposing you have, because you're young and he's 40, and at 30 you have another child and he's 50, then the last child will be 50 plus 23 is 73.
Yeah.
So the lesson is, get married early, have your children early, finish your family obligations early. Then you can stop working and enjoy life.
Right. Yusuf.
Okay? So that's lesson number 1.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Do you have lesson number 2?
I have a few.
Please go ahead. I do not want to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. So the objective of your work phase of life, the objective, the thing you ought to be doing there is to try and shorten the work phase of life. So if you have 76 years, 23 years, which is about 23 over 76, maybe about 30% of your life is spent on getting an education. But if you spend 42 years of your life, because if you retire at 65, that'll be 42 years.
Yeah.
That would be about 50% of your life working, which means 11 years for retirement. That's about 15%.
Yeah.
So the aim should be to shorten the work phase and lengthen I wouldn't say the retirement phase. I would say the fun phase of life.
Oh.
See, you have 2 lives,
Do we?
Yes, you have 2 lives. But your second life will only begin when you realize you have just 1 life. You have 2 lives. Your second life will begin only when you realize you have just 1 life.
I have.
But, many people, millionaires, billionaires, and the self-employed doctors, lawyers, what they do is that they work and they work and they work and they never retire.
Yes, I hear that a lot.
Okay, billionaires never retire.
Yeah, why?
Millionaires never retire because of this thing that human beings have, human beings have this thing called desire. You think you work, you make money, and then you think you have a lot of money, you find happiness, and you think when you have happiness, you find tranquility.
We think, eh?
You think, but it will never happen because if you're an animal or a snake, it swallows a pig, And then when it's full, it goes to sleep. And when it's hungry, it wakes up again and it swallows the pig again. And then it goes to sleep again. But a human being, you earn your first million,
Yep.
You will never stop because you want another million. When you have 2, you want 4.
That is
When you have 4, you want 20. When you have 20, you want 100. When you are a billionaire, you want to be a multi-billionaire. So that's why people who are self-employed, people who are professionals like lawyers, doctors, and so on, they will work until either their health or death stops them. So my message for such people is, spend your money. Because your money is not your money until you spend it.
Hey!
Okay, look.
Wow.
Last week, not last week, a couple of months ago, my billionaire friend died. I wouldn't mention his name, but he had about 2 billion in the bank because he was the one who built Westport.
Okay.
That money is not his money because when he died, he left behind 2 billion.
And he never spent it. What was he doing through?
But that money wasn't his.
Yeah, that's true.
It never was his. In name, it was his.
Yeah.
The owner or half owner of Public Bank had 42 billion worth of assets. When he died at age 85, that money wasn't his money. So why do you want to earn so much money? Because if the chairman or the owner of Public Bank had 42 billion and he spends a million a day starting from 1st of January, 365 days later, he would have spent 365 million.
Yeah.
But his money would have grown to more than cover the 1 million that he had.
You're right.
He spent.
You're absolutely right.
So why do you need so much money?
So how much money do we need?
Okay. Look at it this way. If you spend 1,000 ringgit a day, I mean, we don't talk in millions.
Yeah.
1 year,
Yeah.
you will spend 365,000.
Yes.
So if you have 1 million, you can spend 1,000 a day for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
while also earning money at the same time.
Yeah. So you don't need so much. So if you spend only 500 a day, that doubles to 6 years. So if you have 1 million, you can live 6 years spending 500 a day.
But then again, this is at what point? Because earlier on you mentioned that, while you're working, especially in your early years of your work days, your work season, your work life, you should start having or investing in your retirement plan. So
Yes.
how do we strike that balance, especially for us youngsters?
Okay. For a start, you should stop conspicuous consumption.
Define that.
Conspicuous consumption is drinking high bucks coffee at 17 ringgit a cup, buying Gucci handbags and branded clothes and so on.
Yeah.
So imagine you drink 2 cups of high bucks coffee, high bucks coffee at 17 ringgit per cup, and then you multiply by 2 because you drink 2 a week. That's 34. And there are 52 weeks a year.
Yeah.
Okay, 52 multiplied by 34, by 2, you will get 108, 104 cups.
Okay.
Multiplied by 17 ringgit per cup, that'll give you what, 1,768, I think, or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Okay, now the power of compounding.
Yeah.
If you take that 1,768 and you invest and you get a return of 20% a year.
Yeah.
And the next year you compound it and you compound it again. I've done the calculations. You can pull out the Excel spreadsheet and do it. So 1,768 ringgit, which is the cost of 104 cups of high bucks coffee, okay, compounded at 20% per year for 30 years will yield an amount of money equivalent to 490,000 ringgit. So next time you drink a cup of high bucks coffee,
I love
the
this.
present value of that cup is
wow.
490,000 divided by 104. It's 4,090 ringgit per cup. So next time you drink, lick every drop. Because it's 4,000.
Yeah.
The present value of that cup is 4,000.
Present value. Wow. I never thought about it that way.
Okay, now I'll give you another example.
Sure.
To show you what it means to know how to invest. When I retired, sorry, I didn't retire, I quit.
I love that. Yes, you quit.
When I quit, December 1999, Apple stocks on Nasdaq was about 87 cents. If you had invested that 1768 ringgit that you saved from not drinking Highbucks coffee for 1 year, you could have bought 87 cents divided by, by the way, at that time, I think the Malaysian ringgit was pegged to the US dollar at 3.8.
No way.
So you would have got about 530 odd Apple stocks. So because of splits and bonuses and so on, last week, the price of Apple was 175 US dollars. But your 500 odd shares of Apple would have expanded because of splits and bonuses and all that to about maybe, I think about 50, 60,000 shares. Now, multiply 50,000 shares of Apple today or yesterday by 175 US dollars by 4.75, you would have got 50 million ringgit.
Guys. No way.
So why are you drinking Highbucks coffee? Yeah.
Wow, Yusuf, you have given us so much to think about, honestly. But how early? Like, I want to know, how early did you start preparing for your the day you quit? How early on?
All the time, because
all the time.
My major is economics. Yeah? So, for example, if you had bought a shop house in USJ, for example,
okay,
30 years ago, when I bought one,
wow,
it was about 800,000.
Yeah.
So it was a 4-story shop house in USJ. So today that would be worth about 7 million.
No way.
Yes.
No way. Come on.
And the rental for a 4-story shop house in USJ is 30,000. So if you had bought that shop house at 800,000, today you'd have an income of
passive income.
30,000. Passive income. That's just one shop house.
You know what? That's the question that a lot of people are asking me, because I did put up a question poll yesterday. Like, how are you affording the lifestyle you have today without working? So now we know. Now we know. Guys, stop buying your Highbucks and good cho.
Okay. I said 1768, which was the cost of the Highbucks coffee. Supposing you hadn't bought your Produa Kancil, 35,000 ringgit in December 1999 when I stopped working, and you invested that into Apple shares, you would have got about 10,500 something Apple shares at 87 cents. Then, at the same rate of multiplication or expanding of the number of shares by stock splits and so on, this week you would have had nearly 1 point something million shares of Apple. You multiply that by $175 times 4.75. Take a guess how much.
My math is so bad.
I will tell you.
Yes, please tell me.
980 million. Just 200 million short of being a billionaire. So, where have you been all your life?
Busy working.
No, drinking Highbucks coffee. So today, you see, today, if you look around, what would you want to invest in that would yield you an income when you retire or you stop working in 20 odd years? Look around you.
Look around me.
Yeah. What is on the horizon today that is likely to be another Apple? Electric cars.
Yes.
What powers electric cars? From batteries.
Right.
So, why aren't you investing in the manufacturers of batteries?
Guys.
Better still, in another way, why not invest in the miners who mine lithium or nickel, which is the stuff that
makes
battery is made of. Do you know that in Australia today, these days, there is a big battle among companies trying to buy up the biggest miner of nickel in Australia. So why don't you join in?
I will start doing my research after today, for sure. But thank you for that very, very valuable insight.
I think you need another bit of advice.
Yes, we do.
Spend a couple of $1,000s in ringgit and enroll yourself into a value investment course.
A course. Okay.
4 or 5 days. There's some people doing these courses that will teach you how to invest, what to look for, and how to identify stocks that have a good potential of becoming, stars.
Yeah.
They will teach you how to invest on Nasdaq instead of Bursa. Don't invest in Bursa. The local stock exchange, a lot of crooks in there. That's one. Number two is that the free float of shares on our Malaysian stock market is so small, and there's a big amount out there being manipulated by the owners of the company. So most of us who buy stocks on the Malaysian stock exchange are the minority stockholders. So these people are manipulating the thing. The bottom line is, if you compare the growth of the Malaysian stock market to Nasdaq, you'll find the Malaysian stock market is like that, and Nasdaq is like that.
Yeah.
So don't put your money in Bursa. Put your money in Nasdaq. But you need to learn how to invest overseas. These courses will teach you. We were lucky because Shell is a very human centered organization. Those days, not anymore. They about 5 to 10 years before you retire, they put you through a retirement course to prepare you for retirement, to tell you or to guide you on how to manage your money and how to invest and so on. So since your company will not put you to such a course, so I'd advise you to go enroll yourself into a value investment course that teaches you how to identify shares that has a potential of growing over time, and what to look for. Okay. And then they would tell you who are the stockbrokers in Kuala Lumpur who can help you invest in Nasdaq or the Shanghai Stock Exchange or Tokyo Stock Exchange or anything except Malaysian Bursa.
Got it. Wow. So many nuggets of wisdom that I think I may need to go back and re-listen to this episode and take my notes. But Yusuf, you're also a gypsetter? You call yourself a gypsetter? Could you explain to me what that means?
Gypsetter is a portmanteau word. Portmanteau is a French word. Those days, we had leather bags that were in two parts. You put them together. So there are two parts. So portmanteau, a portmanteau word is a word that is made up of two words. For example, Brexit. Right. Britain and exit. Yes. It's a portmanteau word. Brunch. Breakfast and lunch. Yes. So gypsetter is a portmanteau word that comprises the word gypsy plus jet setter. So a gypsetter is someone who likes the nomadic life of the gypsy, that he will be very comfortable living like a gypsy or visiting places where nobody else goes and, going onto the fringes of civilization. But at the same time, he will be equally at home, like a jet setter, dining in 6-star hotels and 5-star Michelin restaurants. So the combination is, somebody who can, a gypsetter is somebody who likes the nomadic kind of life. But also he likes to experience new things. He likes to travel. He has got no ties to anything, and he can live a luxurious life, and he'll be equally at home at the Ritz or the Carlton, or in London, and he can also be at home in a hut made of cow dung in the underbelly of Ethiopia. So that's what a gypsetter is.
I love that. And as of today, you've traveled to more than 150 countries around the world. Is that correct? Or have
slightly correct.
Slightly correct. So what is the correct number?
I've driven.
You've driven
to more than 100 countries around the world.
What? Okay. What? How?
Well, I've driven from London to Malaysia a couple of times.
Huh? How long did that take?
About 3 months each time.
Whoa. I've not heard of anyone driving from London to Malaysia.
Okay, I've driven from Istanbul to Kuala Lumpur maybe 3 times. One weekend we were having coffee, Mamak shop, 50 cents a cup, not 17 ringgit. We were having coffee, and then my friend said, hey, let's go and drive to India. So I said, when? He says, let's go next week. So we tried to make it next week. But there were things that needed to be done. We had to repair our cars. So a month later, we drove to India.
And how long did that take?
Oh, about 45 days.
Okay, could you give us...
Well, you get into your car, and then you drive from here. You cross the border at Bukit Kayu Hitam. You cross Thailand into a place called Mojang, which is on the, not Mojang, Vientiane, which is on the border between Thailand and Laos. And then from Laos, you drive across Laos to Mojang, which is on the border between China and Laos. And from there, you follow the Yangtze River Valley, and you go into the Himalayas, and you go over the Himalayas in Tibet. You come down through Nepal, and then from Nepal, you come down to Delhi. Any Buddhist here? Then you visit the birthplace of Buddha at Lumbini. And then from there, you come down to Bombay, Goa, and you cross the Indian Peninsula. And at Chennai, you ship your car back to Pok Klang.
Okay, you don't drive back.
No, because
no way.
That was
So you ship it back. Yeah. Okay, fair, fine.
Then,
wow.
Then after that, after that, somebody said, "Hey, let's go and drive around South America." So okay, we shipped our car to Buenos Aires, and we drove from Buenos Aires to Buenos Aires clockwise. Took us about 90 to 100 days.
You drove to more than 100 countries.
So from Buenos Aires, you cross into Uruguay into Brazil, Brazil into Paraguay into Bolivia, you go into Peru, you go into Chile, you go up north to Colombia into Venezuela, you come down again along the Andes into Argentina, Patagonia, you reach Ushuaia, in Terra del Fuego, you come up again, and you come into Buenos Aires from the south.
Wow, okay, if you could pick maybe your top 2, I'm quite sure it's hard to pick your top favorite. What's your top favorite destination you've ever been, or your travel?
I think there is no favorite. I think everyone is different. If you say what is the common thing among all these places that you travel, I think travel changes you. Travel broadens your mind. You travel and you come back, you're a changed person. Because when you travel, you meet people, you meet many different kind of people, many people of different skin color. They worship different gods. Yeah. They speak different language. Some wear clothes, some don't. You will discover that all these people that appear different from you, speak different languages and different skin colors, they actually have the same things that you and I want. What's that? Which is, they want food, enough food to eat. They want clean water to drink. They want a safe place to stay. They want a better future for their children. They want happiness. They want respect. They want love. And they want to be loved. Exactly like what you and I want, isn't it?
Yeah.
So then why do you think you're different?
We're not any different then.
Yeah, you are all the same. You know, even though your skin is different, you speak different language, and some wear clothes, some don't wear clothes. You know, some of their houses with cow dung and so on. You're all the same. You are human beings. You know, you have the same needs and wants, and you want love, you want happiness, but yet there is so much, you know, prejudice and bigotry in the world. If you travel and you see all this, then you come home, you say, my God, I'm exactly the same as that guy over there, you know. And his life is so much different from mine, but he wants exactly the same thing, you know. And then you're thankful for what you have. Because when you see the conditions under which they live, and they're happy. Yeah, they're happy and they're safe. So here you are with air conditioning and, you know, and bottled water and Starbucks coffee and all that. You know, you're exactly the same.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
This is something that that I thought would impact upon everybody if only they will travel. You know, then it will remove all the prejudice, the bigotry inside you, and every person. You know, doesn't matter who and what they are the same as you.
Yeah, I love that. And I think I could definitely resonate because I went on my very first solo trip this year in my life. And you're right, it changed my life forever. And I've been talking a lot about this whole solo traveling, right? And I realized actually a lot of people are so scared to travel solo. What would you say to these youngsters who are scared to travel alone?
First of all, you must get into your mind that death can come anytime. Yeah, driving back home from this interview, who knows? You know, you might go. So the only thing that I'm praying for is that I don't fear death. It can happen anywhere. The only thing I'm praying for is that when I die, it will not be a painful death. But otherwise, you know, you will go one day. So why are you so afraid? You go and travel. But traveling solo, I would not want to do that because I tried. Initially, I did try. You know, right at this moment, traveling solo, you need a different kind of mentality. At this point in time, my friend is on a solo trip around the world, sailing a tiny boat. I think yesterday.
Like right now?
Right now, yes. Now. Today, right now, he's off the coast of South Africa. Okay. Where he will stop and he will park the boat there and then he'll fly home and rest for a bit and then he will go again. He's alone. You need some kind of nut to be able to do that.
I'm a nut then.
No. But if you are traveling with friends, and right at this moment, my friends Thomas Fu and Muhammad Asay and about 15 other of them are on their way from here to Tibet in a convoy of about 12 cars. Yeah. About 2 or 3 people in the car, and they stop everywhere and take pictures and eat the different foods and all that. So I think that is more fun. When I've driven across the Sahara Desert, by the way, I've driven from Cape Town to Cairo across the Sahara Desert to Casablanca. So if you want to cross the Sahara Desert, you don't want to do it alone, because if something happens, your car breaks down, as that happened to me. You know, our cars not break down. We arrange for fuel to be airlifted to a place in the middle of the Sahara. When we reached there by using GPS, the fuel was stolen.
Oh my God.
So what we do was we just took out whatever fuel was in all the other cars. We put it into 2 cars and we camped in the middle of the desert for 3 days because the nearest town was about 1,800 kilometers away. Yeah. Then those 2 cars went out and brought back 6 drums so that we can continue on our way. So imagine if you're traveling solo.
Of course, I guess that's a bit of an extreme to go Sahara Desert by yourself. Like, I probably wouldn't do that, but I get where you're coming from.
But there are people who've
really
that. Right at this moment, there's another Malay lady who's riding a bike solo.
To
last I heard that she was somewhere in Turkmenistan or something.
Wow. So like Yusuf, like for yourself, you don't enjoy solo travel. As compared to
solo, meaning there are 2 definitions of solo. Solo is when you go alone.
Okay.
Solo is when you go without your partner or your wife, you know.
Right.
My wife joins me whenever she can
Yes.
in those adventures which are not so extreme, which are not so physical, because like if you want to climb or hike or trek to the Everest base camp,
Yes.
the Annapurna base camp, or the Mount Fitzroy base camp, or to Kilimanjaro base camp, or if you want to climb up Africa's most active volcano, which is Erta Ale, those kind of things, maybe she will not be able to do it.
Yeah.
So those kind of things, you just go with the men.
Right.
But 3 weeks from today, she's joining me to sail to Antarctica for the 4th time for her and for the 7th time for me.
Amazing. Can you please tell us a little bit about that? I've never been to that part of the world, and you've been there, what, 7 times?
Give or take.
Give or take, sure. Like, I've not even been to 1 time. So tell us, what is it like to travel to Antarctica? Like, how do you even get there? I know where it is on the globe,
Well,
but I don't know how to get there.
You fly to Ushuaia, which is at the southernmost tip of South America in Terra del Fuego. And from there you board the ship and you cross the Drake Passage, which is the world's most vicious sea. Sometimes waves can go up to 20, 30 meters. And then once you get to the Antarctica Peninsula, which is the tip of Antarctica, then you'll be sailing quite close to the coast.
Yes.
And the southern Shetland Islands, which is a row of islands, will protect you from the rough sea. So when you're there, you're sailing along the coast, and you stop the ship or anywhere that you want to go, every day in fact, and then you take the Zodiac, which is one of those inflatable boats, and you go ashore and then you go trekking, and then you go and see penguins, you go and see the different kind of birds, you go and see the landscape, and you hike up icy mountains, and you can then camp on the ice if you like.
Have you seen a polar bear?
Polar bear, by the way, is not in Antarctica.
Oh, sorry.
There are no polar bears in Antarctica. They only occur in, they can only be found in the Arctic. And there are no penguins in the Arctic.
Oh.
Penguins can only be found in Antarctica.
See, I didn't know that. So much more to learn.
If you want to go to polar bear, then you have to take many ways of doing that. One of the ways is to charter a small ship. With 10 friends, I chartered a 100-year-old wooden sailing boat, and we sailed to Greenland to go and look for polar bears.
Wow.
Then when my wife wanted to come, then I arranged for another boat, a barkentine sailing boat that can take about 20 people. We sailed from Svalbard around the island towards the North Pole, and we got stopped by pack ice about 900 kilometers from the North Pole.
Yeah.
But along the way, you can see polar bears. Polar bears hunt for seals,
Yes.
which is their favorite prey, or the only prey, on the floating ice. You know.
Yeah.
So 47, yes. We celebrated, my wife and I, our 47th wedding anniversary on a piece of floating ice at 82 degrees north.
Wow. I love that.
So we were there taking pictures and all that. And what, 15 or 20 other friends there as well. And suddenly the captain rang the horn and said, asked us to hurry up, come on board. Why? Because polar bear was coming, and he thought we were his lunch. You know?
Oh my God! That would have been, that would have been bad, like disastrous.
Yeah, so we went up. So then I think last 3 years ago, just before COVID, we celebrated our golden wedding anniversary.
Which is?
On the ship while crossing Drake Passage. So my friends and the crew of the ship put up a nice dinner with all this singing and all that. But my dear wife was flat out on the bed with seasickness.
Oh, no.
So we celebrated our 50th, our golden wedding anniversary.
Wow.
On Drake Passage. And she was flat out.
I would love to kind of dive into your relationship for a bit, if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, sure.
I think 50 years, married for 50 years.
53.
53. Oh, wow. Okay.
And this year will be 54.
Amazing.
And we'll be celebrating our 54th anniversary in Antarctica.
Happy anniversary.
Because I will go there on the 14th of December.
Happy anniversary. What is the secret to being married, happily married for 54 years?
I don't know. I think something to do with my wife. I don't know how it happened, but I'm glad I lasted, or we lasted, so long. And I have no secrets. I think marriage is a partnership. I think modern marriages, it's so unfortunate that both husband and wife works, because I think in the overall scheme of things, when you get married, somebody has got to go out there and get the food and
make the bread. Yeah,
get the bread. Somebody has got to raise the children, raise them into proper kids with proper values, proper morality and whatnot. So you need that. And I think modern marriages break because of this. Both sides, the man and the woman, wants to work, and they have kids, and the kids, they either get a maid or they put it into a daycare place. That's why your kids are being raised on on a smartphone,
iPad,
watching iPad and cartoons and all that. So I was lucky that when we got married, we agreed that your place is to look after the home, and also at Shell we were posted all over the place. I was transferred all over the place, and even to UK and all that. So we need to have somebody in the house to look after the kids and make sure that they grow up well balanced. So I think that's one secret. But then again, there is a downside there, because it takes 23 years for a child to grow up. So your life, this is some of the things that I speak about on my frequent talks, all over the place. Life is a series of passages, that in your 40s, which I call the fall-on 40s or the roaring 40s, women who give up their career to have children, when they're age 40, and let's say they have a child at age 20 when they get married, women about 20, 22, 23, they get married. So 23 years plus 20 is 43.
Yeah.
So at 43, your child will be out, or at 20 to go to university and all that. So if you have given up your life to look after the child and you're at home, in your 40s, you'll get what I would call a midlife crisis, a crisis of value. You reassess yourself now that the kids have gone, and then you suffer what I call the empty nest syndrome. We have a huge house with 7 rooms, one each for the kids, and today it's empty.
Your house, you mean? Okay.
So it's okay. What I did was we knocked down the walls on 3 rooms and turned it into one huge room for ourselves.
I love it.
So I have a study, and we've got a living room upstairs, and so now the 3 rooms have been converted into 1.
Yeah.
But there are still another 4 rooms there, which my wife likes to keep it as it was, so that just in case
when they come back.
Yeah,
for
kids
the
come back,
holidays.
but they never do, because when you have your own kids, they've got school, weekends they've got activities, so they come and they no longer sleep over.
I think it's so refreshing, because I think all of the guests that have been on Head Over Heels have not lived the life that you lived. Like, your oldest son is how old again?
53.
Exactly, and the youngest is in his 40s.
Farah is 43.
In her 40s. Like,
so, that's the other lesson. Finish your childbearing adventures as early as possible. So get married early, finish your child rearing or getting your children as early as possible.
Yeah.
So that after 23 years, then you no longer have to bother about them.
I love that in theory. But in today's
Yeah.
era, like the kids these days, okay, we call it, you know, there's this thing called the hookup culture, situationships, and people, you know, get out of relationships, get out of marriages so early in their relationships. And I don't think I know anyone who's been married for 50 plus years apart from you right now. So when I listen to what you said, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I have to rush. So what's your take on that for like youngsters today who are not planning to get married early? Because I don't think we are that generation who are doing something different.
You have a choice, you know, you make your own choice and you do what you think is best for yourself. But if you look at life, you know, you can divide your life if the average lifespan of a Malaysian is 76.
Okay.
So you have 7 decades of life.
Yeah.
So you might not realize it, but every decade of your life is actually quite similar to the decade of life of the same age, of the same decade of another person. There are many characteristics which are very, very similar, you know. So for example, if you're in your first 10, 20 years of life, you know, you're being brainwashed, whether you realize it or not.
Okay.
You are being brainwashed by your parents, by your cikgu, by your teachers, by your priest, to accept society's values, society's rules of what is right, what is wrong. They're trying to turn you into a self-regulating adult. Because when you achieve puberty, what happens is that you begin to discover that within yourself, you have something that want to do things, but always being prevented to do it because of external constraints. In other words, you want something, but you can't have it because law or the society or rule says that you can't have it. For example, that's the animal instinct in you, you know, because an animal sees something that he wants to eat, he just takes it. Yeah, so you have that primeval quality in you. Yeah, so during the first 20 years of your life, you go to school and you know you attend classes, and your parents tell you right from wrong. They are trying to turn you into a self-regulating adult.
Yeah.
Not only that, they're also trying to train you to become a self-supporting adult. So that when you graduate at age 23, you are now free. In your adolescence and in your teenage years, you have to ask for permission to do anything, you know, because your parents are looking after you. But after you get a job, after you graduate, you get a job, you're on your own. You're free to do whatever you like. There is nobody to tell you not to come back at 3 o'clock or not come back at all. So many people in their 20s, I call it your trying 20s. You try everything. You try tattoos on your face, and rings on your thing, on your eyebrow, and that kind of thing. You sometimes develop. You try even bad things like drugs. You know.
Yeah.
You try everything, and women normally you are trying to look for a protector to replace daddy. You know.
Daddy issues.
Yeah, and everybody else is trying to find a partner, a companion for life.
Yeah.
So you get married, but then in your 30s, you will find sometimes that you know the 7-year itch starts, and you might get divorced, and you might become a single parent, and you have kids in school.
Yeah.
So your 30s, I call your turbulent 30s, because the choices that you make in your 20s come back to haunt you in your 30s. And when you get a job in your 20s, you think by 30, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to be a general manager or chairman of president or whatever. But sadly, the reality is that by 30, you're not, you know. If your career is going upwards, then it's okay. But many of us are not all that. You know, there's always the probability that some like that, some there, and some like that, you see. So then you enter your 40s, you know. If what you did in your 30s and your 20s are good, your career is progressing like that, then you get into what I call the roaring 40s, you know, because you're progressing upwards. Yeah. But those who are not, it's the forlorn 40s, you know, because you accept that you're not managerial material,
Yeah.
Then you get into your 50s. But another thing, your 40s, again, as I said, for women, it's the hormonal changes, the beginning of menopause.
Yes,
and all
that's
that.
true.
That impacts upon your behavior, your value, your views of life. And again, your children are leaving home,
Yeah.
So be prepared to encounter something called your existential crisis.
Yeah.
You then begin to ask yourself at 45, I have now raised all these children, they're all gone, and what am I? I gave up my job, Now I do nothing at home. Am I valuable, So you will get that kind of crisis in your 40s. If you give up your job to become a homemaker, then you get into your 50s. Your 50s, you either get into what I call your refresh 50s, or, you accept whatever you are. So in your 50s and then your 60s, you become to what I call your serene 60s. Serene 60s meaning you accept
whatever life it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's your motto, for life.
What about 70s?
70s, my age is called the sage 70s.
Wow.
Because you've lived through life. You think you know it all, so you dispense wisdom for free.
Oh, thank
like
you.
What I'm doing now.
Well, you know what? As you grow older, the one thing that we can't avoid is death. And I am someone who is so afraid of death. Every time, sometimes at night when I close my eyes and I think about death, like I just jerk out of it, in cold sweats and all that stuff. Do you fear death, Yusuf?
No. As I said, I'm ready to go. I just pray that when I go, it's not painful.
Really?
I think my religion tells me that there is life after death. And we shouldn't be, I shouldn't be talking about what I think about death. But I think it's going to be another adventure.
Wow. I need to have that mindset. I think that I will be able to live life
It's something that's going to be, I'm looking forward to see what's on the other side, because I've never met anybody who's gone there and come back and told
tell
us
you the
what
story,
it's
right?
like. Yeah, but my religion tells me what it is.
Yeah.
So I think it shouldn't matter, because so long as you, in your life, you follow some basic principles, honor, honesty, integrity, fear of God, those kind of basic things. And if you follow that, and I think whatever it is, when you go on the other side, you'll be okay.
Yeah, I
You'll be
agree.
okay, yeah.
I also remember you posting about some of your friends, like you mentioned earlier, like some of your high school friends are no longer around. How does that make you feel, seeing them go?
I don't know, because I have 7 brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
I was the youngest, and all of them are gone, except for one sister. She's 90.
Oh, wow.
She's blind from glaucoma, and she's quite deaf. So she's still around, but difficult to communicate, because she can't hear and she can't see. So the older you live, the more you see people that you love pass away,
Yeah.
So imagine if you can live 500 years, and lifespan of everybody is about 70, 80, 100, you're going to see 5 generations of your loved ones go. The worst thing for somebody is to see his own child, die before him. I've got aunties. 3 of her children passed away, and she's still alive. So can you imagine how terrible it is? I've got 26 classmates. We have got a WhatsApp group. 14 are gone. Only 12 remain. And last year, I'm the admin of the group. I made everybody an admin.
Yeah.
So because the last admin, when he passed away, Habibur, bless his soul, nobody could change anything or add new one or change or whatever.
Yeah.
So I started a new group, and this time I put everybody as admin. So now the joke amongst us is to see who is going to be the last man standing. Who is going to close this wag?
Wow. I never have, I mean, I'm not there yet, but like to hear your stories, I don't know how to process this feeling. Like your approach is so lighthearted, like you can still laugh about it. Meanwhile, here I am like so afraid of death. Like, no, yeah.
Don't.
But yeah, thank you. Thank you for that reassurance.
The thing that you as a young person must do, most of you, I think your viewers, probably in their 30s and
20-something.
30s. Okay. The main thing that you need to try and focus on is to live a few years of your life in such a way that will enable you to live the rest of your life like most people can't. Live a few years of your life like many people won't, so that in the future, in the near future, you can live many more years of your life like most people can't. In other words, you save, accumulate capital, don't consume conspicuous consumption, accumulate capital, invest, focus on that. Because if you look at your day yesterday was Monday? Sunday.
Monday.
Okay, Monday.
Sunday. Today is
Sunday.
Monday.
Okay, look at today. Your pattern of life today, your 24-hour clock. You can see you spend 7 hours sleeping, and then you get up in the morning, you go to work, and then you come back from work, and then you probably have some kind of a dinner and all that. You come back, go back home, and you sleep again. Day after tomorrow, your pattern is still the same. And day after tomorrow and after tomorrow is still the same. You must get out of that routine, you must get out of that routine and focus, because you are the CEO and MD of your life, your own life. Manage your life. Manage your life and focus time and effort on creating this thing that I call the retirement, the RIP, the retirement investment portfolio.
I love it.
That will generate a PIF,
which is
passive income flow, that is equal to at least 75% of your LDR.
LDR?
Which is your last drawn salary. LDS, sorry.
LDS. It means something completely different to us.
So, RIP, PIF, LDS.
Got it. Taking notes.
So, no, break out of that routine, the circle of routine. For example, if you work for a company, you're supposed to work 8 hours.
Yeah.
Many of us who have children will send your kids to school and at 7:30.
Yeah.
So your office starts at 9, but because you send your kids to school at 7:30, you have 1 hour and 1.5 hours. So most of you will go straight to work.
Yeah.
So now you're supposed to work for 8 hours. So now you work 1 hour extra in the morning. Then when you come to the time that you have to leave for home, you look out the window, oh, traffic is bad lah. I think I better wait for another 1 hour or so. Or it's raining, I wait for it to rain, stop raining. So 1 hour here you work extra, 1 hour there you work extra. It's 2 hours, Do you realize 2 hours over 8 is 25% more hours working for which you get no money, no extra pay?
Yeah.
Why don't you use that 2 hours to think of how can I make some money for myself? Right? 25% more hours that you work for the company, but they never give you 25% more pay.
Guys, take notes. I mean, I've never worked in a corporate company, but I'm sure a lot of you...
I'm saying this to people who work.
I'm sure a lot of them who are listening have...
Because their life is so routine, send the kids to school, work late, go back, sleep, got company dinner, and then take the time away from family time, go for the dinner, go back, sleep. Same thing.
Yeah.
And because you have a salary at the end of the month, what happens is that you have no incentive, or you're not incentivized to save money, because end of the month you get the salary. So this is the biggest danger, because if you don't save, and if you look at the statistics, EPF did surveys and they found that most people will finish their EPF funds within 2 or 3 years of retirement.
Oh, of retirement.
So if you don't have a passive income flow, and you're going to finish your savings
Yeah.
at 68 when you retire at 65. That's why I say the 11 years after 65 is a waiting to die period. And most people, when you come to that stage, that last stage, the retirement phase of life, they become school bus drivers for their grandkids, babysitters. I mean, surely life is, is meant for better things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you retire late, that's what happens. And many of them become born-again Christians, born-again Muslims. Life should be lived. That is the second part or the second life that you have that you have to plan for. So the advice is try to shorten the work phase of life from the normal 42 years if you retire at 65 to maybe about, my case, 30 years by retiring at 53.
Okay.
And then focus on how do you create an investment portfolio that can give you that income.
Yeah.
I know what it feels like going to the gym and feel completely clueless and intimidated. I was once there. That's why I started Motion Lab. We're a fitness studio that focuses on small group classes and personal training. Our goal is simple, to help you move better so you can live better. Start your first class for only 49 ringgit today. For more info, go to www.motionlab.live or check us out on IG at motionlabmy. It's Motion Lab MY.
A lot of them, especially those who are still in their 20s or probably early 30s, they still feel very lost in life. Like, I don't know what to do in life. I want to switch career, but I'm too scared that, it may not work out and I have to start all over again. Any advice for those who are going through that right now?
I don't know. Life is good. Life is good. Life is precious. Time is precious. Life is short. You have to live life. You just shouldn't just exist. Because what you're doing by being so stuck in your comfort zone, not wanting to go out of your comfort zone, you are actually just existing. You're not living. Living means wanting to do the things that you want to do, I mean, the world out there is beautiful. 3 lifetimes, you will not be able to see all of it, So just try to go out there and see the world while you can. If you can still, while you still have your
needs,
your needs and your health and all that, So try to focus on that. And also, if you're an employee, I think one of the way in which to get more money is to get off the employee treadmill. You have to start working for yourself. Because if you work for a company, they give you a fixed salary. The harder you work, you will not get more money.
Right.
But if you work for yourself, no matter what it is, you take some risk.
Yeah.
The harder you work, the more money you can make.
Right.
And it's all yours.
Yeah.
And once you have the money, you start a business. You employ people. The harder they work, the more money you have.
Yeah.
And once you get a lot of money, you don't work, your money works for you.
I love that.
So get off the employee treadmill if you really want to get rich.
Okay.
But I think the main thing is actually saving.
Yeah, like you mentioned
saving
earlier.
is the most important thing that you need to you need to focus your mind on. It's very difficult. It's very difficult because we live on some of us, and the most critical thing that you have to be careful about is this credit card. This credit card actually is a curse. Because
do you have a credit card?
I have a few, but I never use it. But my car is 30 years old.
Oh.
So I haven't changed my car for 30 years. My wife's car is 35 years old.
Wow.
So it's about time that I changed it because now it's costing more money to repair it.
Maintain it.
So stop all this conspicuous consumption. You have to save in order to accumulate capital.
Yeah.
And you need capital in order to generate a passive income.
Yeah.
So you need to live a few years of your life like many people won't,
Like you said earlier.
Yeah, so that you can then live many years of your future life like most people can't.
I love that. I think that's such a great way to put it. So I hope you guys, took notes. And now we are coming to this section where we will teach you some Gen Z slangs. Or maybe tell you some Gen Z slangs and you just have to guess what it is.
Gen Z.
Gen Z. So I am a millennial. Is he a boomer?
Baby boomer.
Boomer. Yeah, you're a baby boomer. And then there's the after boomer is what?
Now it's a Gen Alpha.
Oh, now it's a Gen Alpha, yes. But Gen Alphas are still babies, right? So they can't really walk. They're not in school yet, right? Is that correct? Oh,
Gen
primary school already? Oh my goodness.
Now
so
it's
fast.
Gen X, Gen Y.
Gen X. So nowadays Gen X have this slang. Like they have their own lingo, their own language. What did I say? Sorry, my bad. So these days Gen Z has their own lingo, their own language. And we thought just for fun to get you to guess it. Because you do have grandchildren, right?
Yep.
Any of them Gen Zs?
Yes.
There, you can communicate with them then. Okay, so I'm going to give you a word and you can guess the meaning of it. Keep it short, right? I'll let you know if it's correct or wrong. The first word is slay.
Slay?
Slay.
Never heard of it.
Do you want to guess what it means? You can just give a random throw guess.
Slay, maybe relaxing or,
Okay, I'll give you a word. What's the word? Your outfit is slaying.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Cool. Okay. Close. So it means amazing, wonderful, gorgeous. You're looking so good, right? You're slaying. Okay, second word. It's giving.
Never heard of it. Give. Come. I'll take it.
How do I describe this one? I'm not a Gen Z.
When you describe something like, for example, your outfit today, it's giving.
Yeah, you're trying to describe something. Okay, your look.
Distinguished gentleman.
Yeah, you're giving like a cool grandpa. Like you're giving. Like I'm giving like school teacher. It's giving.
No, I've never heard of it.
Never mind. That's the whole point.
I'm behind time. Yeah.
That's the whole point, okay? Okay, this is easy. Spill the tea.
Spill the tea.
Yusuf, spill the tea.
Tell.
Yeah, I don't think this
Say
is...
it out. That's easy. Right?
That's not really. Okay, that's easy. I'll give you an easy one. Okay, this one. Yusuf, you ate, devoured, left no crumbs.
Oh, you conquer everything.
Is that correct? Well, technically, yes, you're correct. So you can go to your grandchildren, say, what's his name, your grandchildren? Grandchild?
Well, 15 of them.
Okay, 51 of them. Hey, you ate, you devoured, you left no crumbs. They will like drop their jaw to the ground.
Well, they trade in ETFs and
wow. Okay, there we go. I don't even know this one. Let it cook.
Oh, let it go. Or or
is that correct? Well, trust the process.
Not really.
No.
Is that let it.
Yeah.
Let it brew.
Yeah, brew. Yeah.
I tell you, the Gen Zs these days.
They're all
I don't understand.
I don't understand them.
Okay.
So
This one. Ooh, that hits different.
It's different. Oh, that is cool. It's nice. It's good. Huh? I like it. Or
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Different from the rest. Okay, last one. Situationship.
Situation?
Ship. Like relationship, you replace the...
Situationship.
Yeah.
It's all Greek to me.
Really? Oh my gosh.
So you
what
see,
do you
the
think it
baby
is?
boomer is so far from, what was
Gen
it?
Z.
Gen Z. Oh.
Would you want to
60
take a
years.
guess?
No.
Okay, so situationship is something that a lot of youngsters these days get themselves into. It's not a relationship. It's a situation when two parties are in a somewhat of a romantic relationship, but they're not official. They're not actually
situationship.
they're not actually boyfriend girlfriend, but they're like doing things that boyfriend girlfriend does, but they don't want to define the relationship. So like I'm in a situationship. Like what do I do? You get it?
Yep.
I love that.
I have no chance to this kind of a.
We'll never know. You never know. You never know. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for participating. That was so fun. But I always end the podcast with 3 questions. Like you can answer them in either 3 words or short sentences. Okay. The first question is, Yusuf, what are you currently head over heels for? What are you currently head over heels for?
Oh, I think quite a few things actually. If I start from the time I retired. You know, I was in photography.
You quit.
Yeah.
Time you quit.
When I quit. Right now, I have got 3 million pictures in my hard disk, 80 terabytes,
Wow.
by the way. And I use DaVinci to edit videos, and I've got the Adobe suite. I started using Adobe from version 3.
Wow.
Which was in the 80s, I think. So anyway, I am now having fun giving this kind of, sharing wisdom, sage 70s.
Love it.
I've written about 15 books. I'm now in the stage of writing about 3 or 4 work in progress. There's one book which I'm doing, which is a coffee table book. That is I intend to do that as a catalog for a solo exhibition I'm planning to do maybe next year.
Let us know when.
Last month, in August is 2 months ago, I sold 6 of my pictures on canvas, giant size, about 1.5 meters. Raised 150,000 for Cancer Research Malaysia.
Wow.
I've got about 300 pictures of breastfeeding mothers from all over the world, which I intend to put into a book.
Okay.
And that book, I will work with the Breastfeeding Association of Malaysia. There was some talk last time, but I put it under wraps for a while. So now that I've got a bit more time, I will finish that thing. So I'm just preparing for my next trip to Antarctica, and also now thinking for the one next year. So if you want to go next year, I'm going.
May I join?
Yeah, of course. To
How
Falklands.
much do I need? I'll start saving.
You see, if you go to any hotels in Europe or the US, be prepared to spend about $1,000 a day, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So on the ship in Antarctica, you've got a 5-star hotel.
On the ship.
You got 5-star meals, and wine is free.
Okay.
So it costs about $1,000 US a day. So normally, if you go to Antarctica, it's about 12,000
USD.
12 days. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So I think it's worth it.
Next year.
There's a lot. Yeah, next year in October.
Okay.
Yeah, and one in December.
Okay.
So October is to the Falklands and to South Georgia, and December is in Antarctica.
I would love to join, actually. Okay.
And
We'll talk
there's a
about
lot of young people, in
Really?
the trip. So I organize this for my friends. So that's why I go so many times.
Okay.
I don't want to go anymore, but
it's different when you go with different people every time.
Yeah, different people.
Yeah.
And they say that if you drink iceberg melt, because I'm on this Zodiac and my water bottle is empty, so I put the bottle out where the ice is melting, so I put that and I drink. So they say if you drink iceberg melt, you are condemned to return to Antarctica.
No wonder.
Over and over and over again. So don't drink the iceberg melt.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I need to interrupt this question for a little bit, because when you talked about photos, it reminded me of this one photo that you posted, that obviously you took, that left an impression on me. It was a picture of the back of a cow and a lady putting her head into the backside of a cow. Do you remember? Do you know which one I'm talking about? Do you mind telling me the story, telling us the story?
That's why when you when you travel, you see all these kind of strange practices.
Yeah.
The Mursis, that's a Mursi lady actually. They gauge their wealth by cows. So when a cow has a calf, a cow normally produces, let's say, 1 pail of milk.
Yes.
But when the cow has a calf, it will stop the flow of the milk and give only about half a pail.
Okay.
Reserving some for the calf. So the Mursis have found that if you blow into the cow's vagina and then you caress the udder and then you milk the cow again, you get the full pail.
Does it actually happen?
Yeah, I've seen it. That's why I shot the picture and showed it.
Her whole head is in her vagina.
Yeah, but the point is, they do not regard the cow as dirty. They use the cow urine to wash their face, and when they have these decorations of white thing and paintings and all that, that is ash mixed with fresh cow dung, and so that it will stick.
Wow. Do you mind sending us a picture so we can share it with this
I will.
story? Because I think they need.
I can send it to you.
Wow.
You can go to my Facebook.
Okay,
you
we'll
can
find
see
it. I'll find it.
Yeah, it's
wow.
all there,
Okay, cool. Amazing. Wow. Okay. So yeah, that came to my mind. Anyway, the last two questions. The second one, which is something that a lot of people would love to hear from you as well. The best and worst advice you've ever received in your 78 years of your life.
Oh,
You pick one of each.
I think I never take any advice from anybody.
Ooh, that's a good
No,
advice.
that's because my right ear is slightly poor in hearing, so I cannot hear them. What I hear on this side, I tend not to follow. I just do what I think is best for myself.
Yeah.
So I think that should be the way. People give advice, putting themselves into the situation or the circumstances that you are in. But only you can decide what is appropriate for you. So people give advice with good intentions. Listen, but do your own thing.
Love that.
Yeah.
Last one. 3 words or sentences to describe your life right now.
3 words?
Yeah, if you can. You're a great writer.
I'm an unemployed, unemployable. And
Fun
I love
employed.
it.
Fun employed. I love that.
Loving it. I'm unemployed, unemployable, and I'm loving it.
I love that. Oh, wow. Okay. I think that's it for today's episode. Yusuf, is there anything else you would love to share? One final piece of advice for the youngsters who are listening right now before we call this a day?
I think bit of advice, live life. Don't just exist. Live life. Life is short, time is precious. Live life. Don't just exist.
Okay.
And, for those billionaires out there, spend your money because your money is not your money.
Until you spend it.
Until you spend it. When you finish it, what happens?
Yeah.
Move into your kids' home.
Oh my God.
I got it all planned out.
And that's how you have 4 kids.
Yeah, it's one after another.
All right, Yusuf, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank
I
you.
had such a good time just sitting here listening to your life stories. I really appreciate it. And I hope you can come back for part 2 someday. Yeah, and
Pleasure.
I would love to join you for your Antarctica trip next
Do
year.
come.
Yes, I'll talk to you about it. But yes, with that, like I always say, don't forget to fall head over heels for yourself first and always. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
I know what it feels like going to the gym and feel completely clueless and intimidated. I was once there. That's why I started Motion Lab. We're a fitness studio that focuses on small group classes and personal training. Our goal is simple: to help you move better so you can live better. Start your first class for only 49 ringgit today. For more info, go to www.motionlab.live or check us out on IG at motionlabmy. It's motionlabmy.